Hi friends, we are going to do a job today that's math and art mixed together, and it is a three-part job. You're going to have 3 stages to do this job. Stage 1 or part 1 is you need to get a bag and you need to look in your recycling bin and you need to take out of your recycling bin some interesting 3D shapes that you find in there. And I don't think that you'll find everything you need in one day. So you might need a couple of days or even a week or 2 where you'll look in your recycling bin. I'll show you what I found in my recycling bin. I found this box that used to have toothpaste in it. Do you know what 3D shape this is? That's a rectangular prism. And I found this container. It used to have tea in there. Do you know what 3D shape that is? That's a cylinder. And I found this toilet paper tube. That was in my recycling bin. Do you know what 3D shape that is? That's another cylinder, isn't it? Right? And I found this box. Used to have Dream Whip in there. Do you know what shape that is? That's another rectangular prism. And I found this in my recycling bin. We didn't need this party hat anymore, so we put it in the recycling bin. Do you know what 3D shape this is? That's a cone. I actually collected a whole bag of interesting 3D shapes. That's step 1. I need you to look in your recycling bin for a few days, collect a whole bag of 3D shapes. Step 2 is you are going to take those shapes out and you're going to think about what you could build with these shapes. So you might want to use all of the 3D shapes that you collected or just some of them. It's up to you. And I'd like you to make a little bit of a plan now. So while you're looking at your shapes, you're going to figure out what could you make with those shapes. Maybe you want to make a ship, a boat, a train, a castle, a building, completely up to you what you want to make. And you're going to start planning it out. Could I put this here? What if I put this here? Would it look good if I put this here? And what about here? You make a little bit of a plan. Then you're ready to stick your pieces together, and you're going to need tape for this job. And if tape is a little tricky for you to pull apart, to pull pieces off, you can ask somebody to help you. So someone else at your house, I'm sure they could give you a few minutes. I've already ripped off some pieces of tape to make my job a little bit easier. Someone could do that for you. All right, and you're going to use that tape to stick your pieces together. Let's see what I want to build. I think I'm going to build a castle. I'm feeling like a castle. Okay, so you've already made a bit of a plan, so you can go ahead. So I'm going to use this one as my base. I think that's a good strong base. And then I think I'm going to glue or tape this one on top. So I'll use my tape to attach that together. I'm going to put some on both sides. I don't want it to fall apart. All right, and then I think I'm going to use, maybe I'll use this little rectangular prism. I like that. So I'll put some tape over here and over here. All right, that's feeling good, staying together. Maybe I'm now going to put this cylinder on top. So I will tape that on there. It's really fun to do, like this. Okay, feeling good, yep. Now I think I'll use one of these cylinders. I'm going to tape that up here. Here we go. So I'll put some tape on here for it to stay. Will you stay there, little cylinder? Yep, feeling sturdy. And maybe I'm going to put my cone, yes, I'm going to put my cone on top, like the top of the tower. Hey, I think I like how my castle's looking. I had a few leftovers that can actually go back into the recycling bin because I'm not going to use those. So there it is. That was step 2. Build your structure, anything you want. Then there's one more step, step 3. Step 3, I'm going to send you a paper. It looks like this. And I have made this paper bigger for us to look at right now. So here is the paper bigger. To do step 3, you are going to be looking at your structure and you're going to be writing about it on your paper. So the first thing on the paper says name. So I'll put my name up here. Here we go, Mrs. V. And then it says, I built a blank. That's where you're going to write down what you built. Did you build a train or a ship? I built a castle, so I'm going to write that word castle there. Maybe you know how to spell that word, maybe you don't. You can ask somebody for help, or you can sound out the word. I'm going to write the word castle, C-A-S-T-L-E. Just a reminder that you don't have to build a castle just because I did. You build anything you want. Maybe you can build a robot or a dinosaur or some sort of an animal. I don't know. Okay, so next it says, I used blank cubes, blank cones, blank rectangular prisms, and blank cylinders. I need to count how many of those shapes I used. So we'll start here, blank cubes. I'm going to look here to see how many cubes I used. Can you look there and help me figure this out? Do you see any cubes there? I don't see any cubes. I didn't use any cubes, so I'm going to put a 0. I used 0 cubes. The next part says blank cones. How many cones did I use? Can you help me figure that out? I think I just see this one cone here, so I'm going to put a 1. I used 1 cone. And that now it says how many rectangular prisms? I definitely used rectangular prisms. Can you help me count how many rectangular prisms I used? Let's see, I've got one here. 1, 2, 3. I used 3 rectangular prisms, so I'm going to write a 3 over here. 3 rectangular prisms. And then the last one is cylinders. How many cylinders did I use? Maybe you can help me count my cylinders. 1, 2. 2 cylinders, so I'm going to put a 2 over here. Okay, so far so good. There's one more thing to do on here. And there are 2 sentences down here where you're going to measure your structure. So you can use some sort of measuring tool. Maybe you have a ruler like I do, or you could use a measuring tape. You can ask your parents. They probably have something for measuring. And you're going to measure, this says it is blank centimeters tall. So we're going to measure how tall it is. And then it says it is blank centimeters long and how long it is. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to find the 0 on my ruler and put it down at the bottom. And I'm going to measure, I'm actually up a little bit more than my whole ruler, more than 30 centimeters. So let me make a mark there. I got up to 35 centimeters tall, and I'm going to write that here. My structure is 35 centimeters tall. Wow, that's pretty tall. And I'm going to measure how long it is. Let me find my 0 on there. Start my 0 at one end and measure all the way down to the other end. It goes all the way to a 23, and it is 23 centimeters long. I hope you have fun with this job. I'm calling it junk art because we got these junky items out of the recycling that no one was using, and we created art, and we did some math with it by finding the 3D shapes. It's a lot of fun. Okay, have fun with your junk art.